Okay, let's go jump to rank games with a random character and see what we're gonna get today. And it looks like we are just straight up playing the Pyromancer. We do start off with a fire pit, but a chili pepper also. So we definitely want to start off with a frying pan. Because that's gonna be a food item, it's gonna be nice. Let's take the healing herbs since they're on sale with a wooden sword. And I do want to roll to try and find ourselves a whetstone. Now we could do a little bit of a gamble selling our healing herbs to try and grab this to see what it's gonna be. Or we sell our little starved courage. You know what, let's sell our starved courage to the heck out. It is Amber Wells, which is not too bad actually. I was kind of hoping for an Amber Feasting. Now, do we want the gloves? I don't think I'm going to take it. You could go Claws Attack early on, but I'm kind of happy enough rocking on with this sort of situation. Not making much use of a fire pit early on because we don't get any heat whatsoever. But can we take on this Ranger, or this Reaper I should say? That's going to be stacking up a decent bit of poison on us. With a frying pan, with a hero sword, or wooden sword. Hell yeah, we just barely managed to win out. So not bad. But at least now we do get a whetstone that we can craft up a hero sword. We're going to take the fanny pack also with more healing herbs. And we could be greedy and take the box of riches, but I'm going to roll once more. And what I am going to take is a burning coal for now too. Now as for a fanny pack, I'm going to be speeding up our chili pepper along with our Amber Wells. Since we've got no stamina regen, I can't really speed up our weapons, unfortunately. But we are facing another Pyromancer. They're going to be gambling away their whetstone with the Amber Fortune. So we should be able to definitely win out. This is 100% a free win for us. They're just trading up their items. It's not looking too bad for us once again. We should definitely be able to smash on, hell yeah. And we got ourselves our little hero sword. Now the question is, do we want to go for Power of the Moon? We could try to go for a bunch of Moon Armours with a Lightsaber. That could be a super fun build. Otherwise we take False Life and go for an Excalibur type situation. But Power of the Moon is on sale and it will be taking it. And we're going to be grabbing ourselves a big old banana with a little bit of storage. Grab the stone too, and let's roll once. And that's more healing herbs. With more flames. And I'm still going to continue to roll. Do we want to gamble again for another undead Phenomena? Maybe. It's a lot though. Maybe do you want to go for Burning Blade, kind of like in the mid game. But our setup's not looking too bad the way it is right now. Also, we're hoping that we can survive for just a little bit longer so we can get to our fatigue and get a huge max life increase. But that's I was going to say Fortuna's Grace. What is wrong with me today? That's a Shepherd's Crook. They're going to get tons of damage. They got a big old spicy banana to give them heals for every stamina that they use. Oh, it's kind of looking negative for us, and hell yeah, we do manage to win out. Not bad. We get ourselves an extra flame, and we could gamble everything away with an unstable recombobulator. But I don't think you're going to pay full price, and holy moly, that's a Ribsaw Blade. Looks like we're doing another pivot right now. So I'm going to start a little hero sword for it. Going to start our little hero sword. We probably do want to speed this up. We more than likely don't need a frying pan in anymore. And we could hold on to it to try and get ourselves Excalibur going. But what about if I sell it and grab another fanny pack? Beating both our chili pepper up with a Ribsaw Blade. And then we move this over slightly so then we can have both our bananas in like so. Then have a regen in stacked like so as well. And then have you placed in two. Sell our stone to go in and grab ourselves another flame. And all of a sudden our inventory is looking really freaking awesome right now. We should be able to start off with a bunch of heats, speeding up a Ribsaw Blade, stopping our opponent from scaling up so much damage. And it's going to be doing some big old DPS, keeping us alive for right now. Definitely so. We got tons of regen to keep us healthy, a little bit of spike action to deal more chippy damage, and a lot of heat to speed up a Ribsaw Blade along with our food items. Once we enter fatigue, it's going to give us a huge max life increase, making sure that we can outpace our opponents with the help of some fatigue damage. Even our opponents does have a lot of skilling damage and some empowered too. And we could take more chili peppers. How about we grab ourselves a burning coal, more regen, shiny shell for a tiny bit of a heal with the stone. Come on man. Excalibur right here? There's no freaking way. I do want a fanny pack, but I also want to craft up this katana. Do we sell a regen for it? With items we just bought as well, we could craft up this round, or do we want to hold out in other rounds? I think we have time to gamble, and I'm going to move out one of our items to craft this up as well. And we're going to be moving on. 8 regen. 4 vampirism. Getting our own Shelly would have been amazing as well, because with our Amber Wells targeting our Shelly, we could trigger multiple times within 10 seconds. Well, 12 seconds. But opponent is going to have the heals, we're going to have max life. Ribsaw Blade is going to be removing a lot of skilling damage. It's still going to be going turbo speeding. And I don't think our opponent's going to be able to keep up with all our max life from our fire pit with our Power of the Moon. Not bad. That's our armor. But we don't want to craft up a sun armor. Let's grab both of these right now. I'm gonna keep this in inventory and I'm gonna roll once. And that's a freaking Moon Armour, man. We definitely want to grab that Moon Armour. But let's get going once again. We're gonna be crafting up our katana. But we kind of want to go for a katana into a lightsaber type combo. So we remove all their buffs, we remove their scaling damage, and then we inflict a crazy amount of blinds. And that's a lot of poison on us. Counteracting our vampirism, our regen, and this poison spear is going to do an insane amount of damage. But our max life increase might have just saved us. Although that poison is going to chip us down. That max life definitely saved us. That was kind of absurd. However, for this round, let's take another freaking fanny pack, speeding up this katana to crazy speeds. So our build is actually looking kind of, honestly, one of the most aesthetics builds I've played. A lot of flames surrounded by a powered moon, 4 of our healing herbs in one bag. It's looking kind of nice. Let's take the mana orb and the blueberries. Next round, we're going to be taking a holy armor and crafting that up for now too. The problem is, where do we want to place this mana orb? I mean, if we want to try and prioritize mana, we kind of need to set up like so. But I'm not sure if mana is going to be our main objective right now. We'd rather get our stamina and our heats more than anything. So maybe just leave it in this position for now. Speeding up our chili pepper still, I think I'm happy enough rocking on with this sort of situation. Not making use of one of our fanny packs. It should be okay for now. We do get a ton of max life from our fire pit, but our opponents is going to have a card goobers and a blood manipulation. So they're going to get tons of vampirism, they're going to get some empower. And we could be in trouble because they're going to be healing, they're going to be dealing big damage. But can we keep up with them? Because our katana is scaling up in damage too. And again, our max life coming in super clutch. And not bad. Definitely not bad. Now, I kind of want to go for Burning Banner to also inflict blind too. So we'll be taking this. Burning Banner, along with our Holy Armor. And we could go for a Corrupted Armor, but we don't necessarily really want that. We do, however, want our Stamina Sack. Do we want to grab the Heart Container though? Heart Container, because we've so much regen, it would literally explode into a bunch of Empower first and a bunch of max life. I mean, no joke, we're going to be taking that. The problem is, we're going to have to take this Stamina Sack right now. We're going to have to sell 1 flame, 1 stone, and 1 more flame. And right now our setup is looking a lot more awesome for ourselves. But I'm going to prioritize this sort of setup for now. We should be able to steal buffs with our Burning Banner and along with Katana. And we should be able to stack up even more regen for ourselves, but also inflict a little bit of blinds every time we do activate our Holy Armor. We should be able to start off with more block thanks from Burning Coals. Just give us more time to steal our opponent's buffs and deal damage. Now, we got extremely lucky once again because they're setting up for some dragons with the Burning Blade. So they're not going to have as much DPS with that Burning Sword, especially since it's going to move all the scaling damage for every bit of heat that do stack up. But hell yeah. Let's get our Moon Armour once again. And we definitely want to add this in. So we're going to be inflicting blinds every time we do activate a Powered Moon, along with a Burning Banner too. Let's grab a Heart Container. Let's roll again, grab way more storage for ourselves, and speed this up even faster. But we do need to keep rolling. You want to grab Prismatic Orbs for buffs? How about just more armors? Yeah, because if we stack up multiple Powered Moons, we can have our Burning Banner inflict an insane amount of blinds. I'm going to be down for it. We're not going to place any food items, unfortunately. I think we're just going to move on right now. And we'll see how this actually pans out. 2 blind from the get-go, since it is a star battle effect. And then that blind is going to be stacking up. The Power of the Moon, with the Burning Banner, actually looking kind of amazing. Decreasing their accuracy. Although with the Brass Knuckles, they're going to be scaling up their accuracy. So it could be in a little bit of trouble in that regards. They're dealing some big damage to us as well. We get our max life increase. And it shouldn't be too bad for us. Because our Katana should have scaled up quite big damage right now. And definitely smashing our opponents. Not bad. And we do got a couple of options right now. We could take Time Melting. Time Melting will increase the time that we do have that blind onto opponents, which isn't too bad. It also gives us 5 more heats, which is kind of nice too. Stones gives us more damage from our Moon Armour too, or we could take Bagtacular, giving us even more speed on our fanny packs. And more base stamina regen. I'm very tempted to go ahead and grab ourselves Bagtacular, speeding up our items even faster. I think I'm going to take that. And that's even more regen. Vampirism. Let's grab our Holy Armor. I'm not going to take more regen. I'm going to roll once. and we kind of do need a bird. Well, let's sell another banana with a chili pepper, and we're going to be taking this too. Now, I'm going to have to sell 2 more flames, aren't I? Go and grab ourselves another fanny pack. And this time I'm going to speed up a burning banner with a heart container, and then add in all these regen. But the holy armor is going to start off with even more regen for itself, so that's going to be amazing. Bird would remove our opponent's luck, which I think are going to be down for it. Also speeds up all our items too. Yeah, that's going to be amazing for us. But opponent is going to be stacking up some luck with the prismatic wands, and they're going to be cleansing some of those debuffs with the blessing of purity. But it is definitely a decent bit of blind onto opponents, making sure that they're going to have a tough time actually hitting us out. We also just remove a ton of their buffs, a ton of their scaling damage, and it shouldn't be too bad. And every little bit of cold that they're going to be inflicting on us, we can reflect it back with our Moon Armour. Well, we still get all our max life thanks to our hard container. We're stacking up even more regen as well, and we're also stealing buffs with our burning banner. Problem is though, they're stacking up luck, which is why we do need that bird. And unfortunately, that does give them enough accuracy to be able to win out. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Now, unironically, Cthulhu is kind of nuts here. Cthulhu is definitely nuts because we can get infinite stamina or we can get infinite heats. I'll be taking him with a bird. And I'm going to sell 2 more flames once again, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. And I'm going to place that in this spot here as well. So we're going to lose a lot of heat from the get-go. Maybe that might not be the most ideal scenario because we lose a lot of max life. I'm going to sell 1 more flame roll once in hopes that you're going to stack up infinite heat for us. But we also kind of need a bird in, so maybe we prioritize the bird this time around. Yeah, we're going to add in Cthulhu next rounds, but we are going to venture on once again. The bird is going to be sitting up here to speed up all our items, but also remove that luck, because if our opponent can't hit us, especially going up against a blood turn, they're not going to be able to lifesteal. That's going to be super important for us. Decreasing accuracy by an insane amounts is exactly what we want. Still a 40% accuracy, so every time they're going to hit us, they are going to heal up to full. We're going to try to move a lot of their buffs, remove some of their scaling damage, but are we going to be able to win out? They've only got one with a little bit of luck, and their accuracy is still decreasing, and it's looking much better for us. Not bad. And should we take our points and run? I mean, our DPS is going to be not so great since it is only going to be Katana by itself, which is only 24 DPS. Our opponent did have a lot more DPS, even though we did have a decent bit of blind on him, and our heals isn't even that great either. With 200 max life gain though, and in terms of block, 200 block. I still think I'm going to try and make this crazier. We have the potential for something amazing, as long as we get some freaking storage, man. Divine Pot, Whetstone, more Burnies, let's roll. Definitely want to grab ourselves some stamina sacks. But we also really need to find ourselves some mana orbs. And that's another armor. I'm going to sell 1 flame, and I will be taking this fanny pack. Because all I want to do is speed up this Cthulhu to insane amounts. I'm going to sell 1 more flame. I can't take this holy armor. I don't know why I sold the flame, because we won't be able to roll either way. Yeah, but I'd love to grab ourselves another armor. But I really do want to grab ourselves more Moon Armours. The more Moon Armours we get, the more block we get, the more blind we do inflict. And we still haven't found ourselves a Lightsaber. But Cthulhu is going to start stacking up our heats, which is going to be nice. Every time this activates, it triggers our chili, which once we have 10 heat is going to cleanse those debuffs. But opponent is rocking a boomerang, which will be stealing our heats. And since they're going flame up, they're going to be going turbo speed as well. We're after dealing some big damage right now, and this is looking much better for us, and amazing. Definitely amazing. And here we go. Mana Orb. Let's roll once. I was hoping to get another Mana Orb. We definitely need more storage though. Let's make sure we craft up this Moon Armour. Do you want to grab more blueberries? Every bit of blueberries, those give us more block. Not going to be too pushy about our helmet. We're going to keep rolling. And we could have went for Sir Sand as well, but I don't necessarily really want Sir Sand. Not sure if he'd even want to Corrupted Crystal, if I'm going to be honest. Heart of Darkness will stop an opponent from healing. We won't get increased healing efficiency, but stopping an opponent from healing might be much better for us than increasing our whole healing efficiency. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it, but I'm going to venture on. Once we get ourselves another Moon Armour, we could go for a big mana stacking type build if we grab more Mana Orbs. But can we take on another Flame Up? Holy moly, everybody's rocking Flame Ups today. But I'm still going to be getting some power. This is going to be a decent amount of blinds, decreasing accuracy down to 40%. They're going to be trying to inflict their own blinds, but every time we do inflict blinds, we do reflect it and send it back to them. So they are going to be kind of blinding themselves. where we stacked up crazy amount of buffs, which is really, really awesome. And we could just be lamping our katana for even more damage. And we're slowly beating down our opponents. Not bad. But let's go ahead and grab this. Grab another stamina sack. Grab another protectable purse. Sell one flame, roll once more. And we could grab ourselves another bird. But I did move our burning banner over to this position, so it's going to be targeting both our Moon Armours. We want to be speeding up these as much as possible. And I think we're going to venture on once again. We're definitely going to grab a second bird to speed everything up once again. Now that is going to be Dragonite with a rope, with a turtle. This fella is going to be going extremely fast, which is going to be a bit dicey, but as long as we keep decreasing accuracy, it shouldn't be too much of a problem for us. Maybe. Because they got a little bit of blind on us as well. But we're also removing a lot of their skilling damage too. So this is going to be extremely long fight. For sure, there's a lot of blind on to our opponents. We have infinite mana stacking right now, so big blue gemstones in our armor would be extremely awesome. But our katana is going to be scaling up in damage. And that's a decent bit of blind onto our opponent. 0% accuracy is kind of absurd. Our opponent literally cannot do any damage. It's only that fatigue that is going to be chipping us down. And that blind is still stacking up. Which honestly is genuinely amazing. 56, 60 blinds. Although we could still lose with that fatigue. Holy moly, that was way too close for comforts. But at least we got ourselves a Heart of Darkness. Now I'm looking at this heart container and I'm thinking about taking it too. To get even more max life stacking. Even more in power. But we do want to grab the bird with another protectable purse. And I really do want to grab ourselves a lightsaber. But do we need a lightsaber with a katana? Because adding in another heart container, we can inflict a little bit more blinds. And since we did craft this into a Heart of Darkness, it's not going to be a holy item anymore, which isn't that great for us actually. We probably should take it. I'm going to still roll once though. On to the recombobulator, I'm going to take, and I'm just going to let it recombobulate itself. I do want to keep every single item that we do have. And two birds are going to be sitting up top in this position, targeting our Moon Armours more than anything. We also need to find ourselves a big old mana orb, because once you get a big old mana orb, we can get some big mana bombs. And I don't think we're going to go for another Moon Armour. But our opponent is going to be cleansing every bit of blind we do inflict with that Holy Spirit, which is not ideal. And we could be in trouble right now, because they're going to have 100% accuracy. And unfortunately, they do counter us quite significantly. Since we do not get rid or do not inflict that blind onto opponents, they can just freely hit us. And unfortunately, Holy Spirit is going to be one of our worst opponents to actually face. And we got ourselves a little torch. Let's grab our heart container and let's roll. That's another Holy Armor. Do we want to stack infinite Holy Armors? Maybe actually. It's also just another bird. I think I'm just going to grab our storage. I'm going to continue to roll. We sell our torch. And we just keep rolling for now. That's a break-in mana orb, which we do desperately need. But no lightsaber. We can hold on to this banana so we can get our Cthulhu to speed that up or give us our stamina back. So when we add in our lightsaber, it should be kind of nice for us as well. But since we're probably going to sell our katana once we get our lightsaber, I might sell this. With 2 flames to go ahead and take out. Place that in that position for right now too. We can get some big mana bombs, give us even more damage. I think is going to be too nice not to take. But I'm also thinking about moving our bird over just a little bit, like so we can have both targeting katana, because right now we're targeting both our katanas. I think that's going to be a little bit better for us. So do we actually want to grab ourselves a glowing crown as well? So for some invulnerability, it'll also inflict more blinds. I wouldn't mind grabbing it, but at the same time I do want to find our lightsaber, so I'm not going to take it. And again, Holy Spirit, but they have no star slots available, so we should be able to literally inflict our blinds, no problems. My problem is this is going to have accuracy no matter what. Crossblades though, on the other hand, not going to have so much. But they're after dealing so much damage that we just cannot keep up with them, unfortunately. We are starting to bleed our lives. Let's roll like crazy. Okay, another bird though. Triple birds? Triple birds it is. Let's finish off with a little bit of storage. Let's keep rolling. Come on, we can find a lightsaber, can we? Doesn't look like it actually. Unfortunately, we do need to move on once again. With our bird in this spot, we're going to be targeting Cthulhu. With our other bird as well, we're going to still have this target our Cthulhu so we can get our heat. With 3 birds, we're going to guarantee that our opponent is going to have any luck stacking. Well, they are stacking up an insane amount of luck actually. And they do get that invulnerability once again. They have an absurd amount of luck, and they're going turbo speed. And right now, it's not looking great for us right now. Invulnerability for days too. And yeah, we're kind of falling flat. Looking like we should have took our points and ran. Did we just settle for a Glowing Crown, our own Holy Spear? No. We're going to grab this for now. We're going to keep rolling. And we're not going to give up until we get our Lightsaber. And holy moly, did we get it. We're going to be selling our Katana to grab it now also. But it definitely took way too long. I'm going to still continue to roll. We'll gladly take this too. Let's keep rolling. There's nothing really else we do want to grab. And we're going to put our Corrupted Crystal inside our Moon Armour. But is this going to be enough to be able to win out? I'm genuinely not sure. We'll have to see. With our Burning Banner, with our Lightsaber, we should be able to inflict a lot more blinds. And since we're facing a debuff stack and builds, with our Moon Armours, we should be able to reflect them back also. We're going to be able to use the regen to inflict even more blind, which is also going to be fantastic. With each bit of blind, our Lightsaber is going to deal more and more damage. And we got a lot of block, and every time we do inflict blinds, we're going to get even more block too. But opponents is going to have a decent time cleansing those debuffs. Or we could have used a Corrupted Armour instead of just going for Holy Armours. We could have stopped opponent from cleansing all that blinds. But they do get invulnerability. They are going to be cleansing that blinds with those Glowing Crowns as well, which is not ideal. They did reduce their healing. Lightsaber is going to be dealing a 63 DPS since they're going to be going extremely fast at half a second. So starting to deal some big damage right now. We still got a block, and we don't have any debuffs on us whatsoever. We do almost have 1,000 max life as well, and amazing. Lightsaber in the final rounds, not bad. But in terms of DPS, we only managed about a 40 DPS, which is not too crazy. Well, 50 DPS. Opponents did only have a 10 DPS because, yeah, they had very little accuracy. Now, in terms of heals, we did have 10 healing per second, mostly from Cthulhu. We did have 566 max life gains from our Powered Moon with our heart containers. And in terms of block, we managed about a 450 block from our Moon Armours. Corrupted Crystal actually giving us 60 armor as well. Not bad. But Powered Moon looking kind of nice with the Moon Armour, with the Burning Banner, so we can inflict a crazy amount of blinds. The only thing is stopping an opponent from cleansing that blinds. But we did survive with 2 lives left. How much rank points are we going to get for ourselves? Plus 10, almost ranking us back up to Masters once again. Always in around that Masters. But I'm going to leave you here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I hope you give a look up to the next one. I'll see you next time. Now, can we deal with Turbo Shelly heat stacking, Obsidian Burning Blades type situation with the Turbo Shelly's going super speedy? We will be cleansing that blind. We're also not going to be stacking up heat with our Burning Blades, since they're not going to be able to hit us. The only thing is they're going to be eating up all our stamina with those shields. So this is definitely going to be interesting because they're going to get that turbo heats, making sure that they're going to be stacking up that damage. And they are going to start cleansing all that blind. We're after dealing some big damage. We got tons of max life. But can we keep up with them? Because they are putting up an insane fight. And they've almost cleansed all that blind. And we just barely survive out. And can we deal with a coal stacking build? I'm do glad we got our burning coals resist up to 12 coals. And then after that, we're going to be reflecting that coal back with our Moon Armour. So we'll see if we're going to be able to keep up. Especially with a snow stick as well, it does have to hit us to inflict that cold. And since we have so much blinds, they're not going to be able to hit us. And after that, we stack up so much speed with all our birds. That shouldn't be too bad for us. Our accuracy could be 0% even with that little bit of luck, and hell yeah, not bad. And finally, can we take on this super speedy Staff of Fire with double eye lamps? They're going to be trying to scale up their accuracy with those eye lamps. And they're going to be dealing some big damage with us. But again, on attack, they're going to be scaling up that damage. So if they do manage to get a hit through, it's going to do massive damage. But with all this blinds, yeah, it's going to be 0% accuracy. Now they do get invulnerability, and it's still 0% accuracy, but that's a 200 DPS Staff of Fire, and we do manage to win out.